Sony Animation latest movie called GOAT has been released, and it follows a story of a young goat who wants to become a role player. In other words, basketball player. So the question is, was it good? Well, yeah, it's good. Here's my review of it. And of course, it will contain spoilers. So let me start with the story. So the movie follows the young goat named Will Harris, and he dreams to become a role player basketball in their world. He wants to become as big of a player as his idol Jet Fillmore, a Black Panther who is famous all-star and the face of the team Thorns. And through some viral video that shows Will face off with the player Mane, who is the MVP of the league. And therefore, because Will goes viral, he gets into the team by Thorn's owner. And so the journey begins with the team. It's basically every sport movie, underdog sport story ever made. The story may be familiar and similar that we have seen many times before, but the characters is what's keeping me interesting in this movie. But other than that, I thought the story was, well, it's not groundbreaking, but it could have been done a lot better. The first half of the movie I thought was really good. Will gets into the team. The second half of the movie just felt very rushed. It was so fast paced that it didn't let the story or the movie at all pause for a moment to take a breath. For an example, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I didn't care so much about the war games. I mean, that was one of the interesting points when I saw the trailer. I was like, yeah, I can't wait to see these war games, to see how it plays out. The full scenes of the match, that we're seeing how it's get play and all that. But it just feels like short highlights, basketball moves, and that's it, the game is over. And it wasn't very memorable, because I was expecting it to at least be sorta like Space Jam, when the basketball match against the Monstars, that was epic. Especially in the final. Other than the war games, I just felt like the plot points felt very rushed. But when it comes to animation, the animation is great. That's what we're expecting nowadays from Sony Animation, especially since the Spider-Verse days. And now to the characters. I thought the characters was great, especially Will and Jet. I thought those two were the heart of the movie. The rest were okay. Now Will, he's basically the underdog main character that we've seen many times before. There's nothing wrong with that. Now for me, Jet Fillmore was the best character in the movie. Thought she was the most interesting one and most fun to watch. But what bothers me with her, I feel like they left out a lot of her story. There was so much to the character that they could have explored, but they didn't. For an example, a scene where she goes solo and wins them the semi-final, and then they decided to split up. And then she decided to find Will Harris and to apologize to him for her behavior. And I thought there was a great chance there to explore her. She says, I'm sorry. And there she's playing her background, her origin. For example, how she became a role player, pressure, and through the career when she never won a claw. That makes her more bitter, more angry. That stuff. They could have 5-10 minutes just have her tell her story and all that. Makes sense why she's acting like this, but it doesn't give her the right, of course. But at least we'll get a little bit more insight for the character, which I think was missing. Maine was a great, I wouldn't call him a villain, but he was a great, typical all-star douche. The voice cast overall was great. I was surprised to learn that Steph Curry was voicing the giraffe, which was fun. The soundtrack was fine also. I thought the humor was very funny in the movie, especially since I follow basketball. But it was great that they used many jokes, especially many of the jokes that were relatable and that we see in NBA. Those callbacks and also references that I loved, that Jet was the coach the whole time. So I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, that's for my review of The GOAT. What do you guys think? Do you think it was a great movie? What are your thoughts on it? Comment down below. And thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.